it. People always tell me, you're so much fun. He goes by both. I call him Eitan. It's in Greenberg. LFJ. It's the same place. It's Greenberg, but White Plains. 119. Right across from the bowling alley? Yes.
Says here, every dead body on Mount Everest was once a highly motivated person. So me, found out.
That's pretty fun.
Right?
Yeah. She's in kindergarten, but she's in public school. Yeah. The one awesome school. There's only one of any school. It is, actually. Actually, the thing that's nice is that they divide it to separate buildings every two. So the building she's in is just pre-K and K, and then there's a building that's first grade and second grade. Yeah, so like she walked in to her first public school experience being the oldest in the building, which is kind of nice, you know? Right, exactly. I think it makes it a lot less overwhelming, particularly because like, you know, it's so big compared to what she did last year, you know?
Okay. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. What do you think, Jesse? Do you need some more stuff?
Always more food. No.
More cowbell, yeah, right. Jesse, you want to hear anything else, or? I don't think you can hear me. You're good? All right. Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Okay, so see you in a few minutes. All right.
box. I want to show it to you. When was the last time you saw her?
I didn't see her that long ago. I saw her this summertime.
Oh, okay. And your sister is down there?
My sister's in Atlanta.
Oh, wow. That's not too far. I mean, depends where, no?
It's not too. No, it's not terrible. I mean, you would never drive. I mean, you
Yeah,
could,
yeah.
but you know.
Does she have anybody there?
My
Your
sister?
mom? No, your mom.
My mom, she lives in this. She's got an apartment in this independent living
Uh-huh.
thing. So there are people there. She needs.
Right.
There's a dining room. So she's got everything she needs, but she's got her own place.
How often do you talk to her?
Once a day.
What a good boy. I hear you.
Yeah. I mean, I always talk to them. My parents at least once a day. And now my dad's gone. I for sure call him.
Yes, yes, yes. When did he die?
2000. Actually, it was Thanksgiving in 2013 or 14.
Ah,
So a while. I miss him every day. There are so many times I want to call him and just shoot the shit.
yeah, yeah. How old was he?
He was 82, 83. He was a great help in all of a sudden.
And they lived together down in Florida.
They had the most beautiful love. They met in high school.
They grew up in Niagara
Niagara
Falls,
Falls.
both of them? So your grandparents were there?
That's where they lived.
How is that town now?
Oh, it's terrible. I mean, it's really bad economic.
Yeah. How was it when you grew up?
There was bustle. There's people everywhere all the time. But yeah, everybody was working.
All those upstate towns had a bunch of industry,
Factories,
right?
that's
They all
right.
shut down.
Niagara Falls was all chemical plants. My dad worked in, his construction work. And so in those days, union workers really made a living. It was a good living. And then little by little, the companies started finding cheaper labor in the South, where there are no unions. So they moved.
Like Westchester,
Yeah, if you take that strip right from here, you go up to Albany, straight across, even further to Cleveland.
Oneida, right?
Pittsburgh, Cleveland,
Oneida.
Oneida, right?
Oneida.
Right. All of those, man, they all went out. There's steel plants.
But you mentioned that nowadays it's rejuvenating with like clean energy stuff.
Buffalo is, yes.
Buffalo.
Yeah, they have banking there. They have a big hospital there. They have.
And the canal is no used anymore?
I don't know if it's really used for shipping or not. I don't know.
They just did something, where is it? Like half an hour north from here. They fixed a patch of train, and you can take that train. And it was a train that, I don't know, took stuff from further west in New York down to the Hudson. It's not the Erie Canal, but it's further south, but north
It's
of
that same
here.
kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah. It's
Buffalo is still one of the biggest shipping ports in the world.
really? How do they get to the, what, on the lakes?
Right,
Just on the lakes?
right. So now you can go through the lakes, and then there are canals there, just at the bottom of St. Lawrence.
Okay.
There's a canal.
I see.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because Buffalo, it's off the Great Lakes.
Mm-hmm.
All of them end there.
And how is Buffalo? Is that a
Buffalo
good?
is doing great.
Yeah, it's a good city.
It's a great city. People are nice. I love it. There's, they call it the city of good neighbors. People are nice. Funny. They don't mind sitting down having a beer, having a laugh. It's all Italians, Irish, and Polish. And that's pretty much what got Buffalo. I love the city. Very loyal people. Because it's family.
Sounds like a fula. Ashley שליחה עכשיו, יש שליחה בווסטצ'סטר בגבעת אלה. כן. שחר קוראים לה. אין לי מושג, אני לא יכול לבדוק. תבדוק, ווסטצ'סטר שליחה. היא צעירה בטח 35, אולי אחות שלה. אמרתי לה, שוש יפה, אז לא נראה, כן. זה דור אחר, בדור שלו ידע את שוש.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's so nice to be here together this Shabbat evening at Westchester Reform Temple for our Kabbalat Shabbat service. I'm Rabbi Daniel Reeser. This is Cantor Amanda Kleinman, and we're joined in the leadership of this evening's service by Pete Mallenbernie at the piano, by Oren Nyman on string instruments of some kinds. I think that might be a mandolin, yeah. Also by Idan Santhaus on woodwinds, and by Jerome Morris on percussion. Some of us are coming into Shabbat this evening seeking a little bit of respite and rest. I know that I've had a lot of conversations over the past couple of weeks where people are saying that as our world has continued to reopen, we're not in the habits that we used to be in of running around from one activity to another and one appointment to the other and doing quite so much in the past few weeks when we hadn't been doing as much for the past 20 months preceding them. How much do we, in that circumstance, need a day of rest, a day to recalibrate, to reset, to unwind and let go of the many demands on our time that come with our thankful reopening of the world? We hope that this will be a Shabbat of rest and of rejuvenation for all of us, beginning with this worship service together. There are two young people in the congregation who tomorrow morning we'll be celebrating their Benot Mitzvah, and we'd like to invite them forward to help us light our Shabbat candles. So would Olivia and Nicole Berkun, along with their sister and mom and dad, please come and help us to kindle these lights for Shabbat.
Amen.
Mazel tov to Olivia, Nicole, and the entire Berkun family. Thank you for being with us. We'll continue now in our prayer books on page 142 with the words Shalom Aleichem. 142.
Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון, ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון, ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seidchem לשלום, Seidchem לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון, ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We'll continue on page 138 for the Chadodi. We'll pray together verses 1, 2, 5, and then when we reach verse 9, we'll rise together and face the doors to welcome the spirit of Shabbat. standing as we turn to page 146 for our call to prayer.
Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
148.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidbaro mariv aravim bechokma poteach she'arim. God of creation, who makes the evening fall from light into darkness with the setting of the sun, you unfold the heavens with brilliant moon and stars and wrap our souls with peace. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidbaro mariv aravim bechokma poteach she'arim. Baruch atah Adonai Amariv Aravim. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
We may be seated. Page 154. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בהם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך, ובשעריך, למען תזכרו, ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני, אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. Ani Adonai Elohechem. It's hard to believe in just a little bit over a week we will be celebrating the holiday of Hanukkah. And so, as is customary, we anticipate the holiday with the melody of the season. Page 158, Mi Chamocha. Mi chamocha
שנאמר כי פרע אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Amen. The rational mind that we bring into our prayer space wants to do away with all places where we refer to God as having any sort of physical manifestation. We don't think of God as being a person with a body, a being with an arm that can stretch out, or a being that can walk around in a garden like it says in our Torah. Our intellectual mind wants to do away with all of those images. But I actually find that some of the most evocative stuff in our entire tradition are those places where our ancestors imagined God in metaphorical terms as being somehow physical. Like in our prayer on page 160, where it asks God to shelter us beneath the shadow of God's wings. What a nice image is that? That God is somehow like a mother bird, drawing us in close underneath God's wing, taking care of us through the night, giving us shelter and protection when we need it. Maybe sometimes we need to suspend our disbelief, turn off our intellectual minds, and find the poetry, find the images that'll speak to us, that'll speak to our hearts and souls in the way that sometimes the mind can't be reached. Let's join now together, praying that God might bring us under wing. Page 160, together.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, leshalom, vehamidenu shomreinu lechayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, Ve'zocher Chasdei Avot ve'imahot, U'mevii Geula livnei v'neihem, Leman Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch Ata Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah, Ata Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol Ata Rav le'Hoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechakel chayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofech holim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar. Michamocha bal gevurot, Umido melach, Melech memit umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman ata lahachayot hakol, Baruch ata Adonai, Mechaye hakol. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kedoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah, Baruch ata Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
We invite you now to take a few moments for private reflection. You might look for words of inspiration in our prayer book or find the words of your own heart. You can pray while standing or sitting.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
Shabbat Shalom. This is the second time I've almost detached the music stand from its pole, so I'll have to work on that for next week. Shabbat Shalom. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, it was with those iconic words that the filmmaker George Lucas introduced the world to Star Wars, arguably the most successful science fiction or fantasy series of all time. Over the past month or so, my wife Leah and I have binge-watched our way through almost the entire Star Wars saga, and I have to admit, it has been thoroughly entertaining. I say this as an admission because prior to the pandemic, we were not all that into science fiction and fantasy. But over the course of the past 20 months or so, we have binge-watched not just Star Wars, but also 5 other sci-fi and fantasy series. Collectively, many dozens of hours of movies and books and podcasts, and I have to say, all of it has been really enjoyable. It didn't take us long to realize that we'd been hooked on the genre. And quickly, we began to wonder, what is it about science fiction and fantasy stories that are so captivating and engrossing? Consider for a moment the sheer volume of blockbusters and bestsellers that this genre has produced over the past couple of decades. Star Wars, Harry Potter, The Hobbit, The Lord of the Rings, the Marvel comic movies, The Hunger Games. The list goes on and on. What is it about science fiction and fantasy that has captured the imagination not just of me and of Leah, but seemingly of the entire world? I think one part of the answer can be found in those iconic opening words from Star Wars. Sci-fi and fantasy allow us to be transported to an utterly different world, to events that happened a long time ago, in a galaxy that is far, far away. That is to say, sci-fi and fantasy provide us with a degree of escapism. They allow us to temporarily leave behind the real world, to forget about our own lives and own problems, and for a few hours to inhabit a universe that is completely different from our own. Especially during the pandemic, and in particular during those first few months of the pandemic, when we were all stuck at home, unable to go anywhere, and our only contact with the outside world came through the bleak headlines that we read in the news, we've all needed a strong dose of escapism. Science fiction and fantasy allow us, for the moment, to forget about the problems of our world and instead get immersed in a world that is a galaxy away. But these stories don't merely provide a strong dose of escapism. More often than not, they also present us with a world that is neatly ordered and morally unambiguous, where it's easy to tell the difference between good and evil, between heroes and villains. And although the heroes might sometimes experience a setback, or someone who we thought was good in the end reveals himself to be evil, we know that in the end, before the final chapter comes to a close or before the credits roll, all will have been set right in the universe. The heroes will always win. The villains are always vanquished, and the world is always restored to order. Film critic Mallory Rubin has pointed out that Star Wars was the perfect film in many ways for its time. The original movie was released in 1977, as the United States was still recovering from the aftershocks of the tumultuous 60s, the Watergate scandal, and the Vietnam War, a period that challenged many long-standing norms and traditions. And into that tumult, George Lucas introduced exactly the right kind of balm, a fantasy world in which good could easily be distinguished from evil in clear and obvious binaries, with the Jedi Knights on one side and Darth Vader, easily the most recognizable villain in film history, on the other. with the Galactic Rebellion on one side and the evil empire on the other, with the mystical power of the Force on one side and the menacing dark side of the Force on the other. As we descend into winter and as Hanukkah approaches, I found myself thinking a lot about the dark side of the Force. We often describe Hanukkah as our festival of lights. At the coldest and darkest time of the year, our Jewish way of celebrating the light. Of course, it's not just the Jewish religious tradition that, come winter, goes to battle with the dark side of the Force. Christmas also tells the story of a star that shined in Bethlehem, a sign that God's Son had been born and that brighter days lie ahead. The Aztecs used to offer a winter sacrifice to their sun god in hopes that doing so might cause him to soon return. But unlike these other religious customs, Hanukkah bears another striking resemblance to the world of Star Wars. It doesn't require too much imagination to translate the Jedi into the Maccabees, Darth Vader into King Antiochus, and the evil empire, intent on ruling the galaxy with an authoritarian grip, to be translated into the Syrian Greeks, forcing their Hellenistic culture not only on the Judeans, but also on every other unwilling kingdom in the ancient Near East. Like Star Wars, Hanukkah is the story of a righteous rebellion. Like Star Wars, Hanukkah is presented as a battle between good and evil, where there's a clear distinction between heroes and villains, where we trust that the light will surely triumph over the dark side and believe that the universe will be restored to order. But of course, we all know that the world doesn't always work that way. Our lives are not neatly ordered and morally unambiguous. It's not always so easy to distinguish right from wrong, truth from opinion. Sometimes the people we think of as heroes lose. More often than not, the universe isn't restored to order. Science fiction and fantasy will always be exactly that, only a fantasy. The world as we might wish it to be, but not the world as it is. Despite many of the movies being rated PG-13, George Lucas has asserted that, in their essence, the Star Wars movies were intended for children. And indeed, the movies do present a worldview that is very childlike and simplistic, where good and evil are clearly defined, where the heroes always win. Similarly, it is perhaps Hanukkah's childlike and simplistic worldview that accounts for the holiday's blockbuster popularity, especially, we should note, among children. Science fiction and fantasy might allow us to escape to a galaxy that is far, far away. But equally so, we need other powerful stories that enable us to grapple with the real world and all of its complexity. We need stories that allow us to live with ambiguity and endure life's disappointments. And helpfully, this week's Torah portion provides us with exactly one such story. It is one of the most famous stories in the entire Torah. We often refer to it as Jacob wrestling with the angel, but if we examine it more carefully, we will find that Jacob's wrestling partner is seemingly anything but an angel. Recall that their wrestling match takes place in the middle of the night, and that Jacob's wrestling partner insists that he must leave before the sun will rise. It seems that his wrestling partner is some sort of creature of the night who gets his power from the dark. Recall also that when the wrestling partner sees that he's outmatched, the wrestling partner resorts to fighting dirty. And according to one particularly evocative interpretation, the wrestling partner punches Jacob in the groin. And yet it is this dirty fighting night creature, whom we might expect to be the very embodiment of the dark side, that turns out not to be a villain, not to be a manifestation of evil, but instead, when the wrestling match has concluded, it is this dirty fighting creature of the dark side that offers Jacob a blessing. Unlike the world of science fiction and fantasy, this story of Jacob is one that is rich with complexity, where even the dark side has a blessing to offer us. George Lucas's galaxy far, far away, unlike George Lucas's galaxy far, far away, Jacob's wrestling match might remind us of our own real world, which is neither neat nor orderly, where good things sometimes do emerge in the dark, where people who we thought were our enemies might sometimes turn out to have something to teach us, where the disappointments and anxieties that keep us up all night wrestling in the dark might sometimes in the end lead us to a blessing. This year, as our Hanukkah candles burn down, perhaps we might permit ourselves to linger by the menorah for a few moments longer than usual, in order to behold not just the beauty of the light, but also to wait and see if there might be a blessing that is waiting for us in the quiet stillness of the dark. The candles will burn out, but in their place, the musky scent of the smoke will arise, a sweet aroma that we otherwise might have missed, a gift to us from the dark side. Shabbat Shalom. Our hearts open now to people who are in need of healing. And if there's someone you're praying for this Shabbat who's in need of healing, someone who would feel good to know that you were thinking of them and you'd like to share their name aloud with this congregation, I invite you to rise in your place and say their name now. We as a Westchester Reform Temple community are praying this evening for Lorraine Field, David Goldberg, Herschel Ben Sara, Sarit Bat Ilana, Yitzchak David Arya Ben Fega, Rachel Bat Chava, Yitzchak Halevi Ben Sholem, Elizabeth Hars, Avraham Ben Miriam, Barbara Feldman, Robert Zagoria, Tony DeLappa, Gina DeLappa, Mark Sosnowitz, Matthew Atwood, Stephen Bleckman, Linda Byron Glucksman, Gloria Byron, Joyce Rowe, Jonathan Pasternak, Anthony Bartholomew, Anthony and Elizabeth Danker, Mordechai Ben Yaakov, Deborah Kapnick, Nicole Schusse, Neil Glaskell, Leah Greenspan, Andrea Reiner, Masha Batsora, Aviva Tzila Bat Esther Bela, Jeffrey Millman, Ken Master, Libby Corona, Chava Batsara, Eliyahu Chaim Ben Fradel, Sheila Freed, Malka Tzipora Bas Rachel, Tamar Bat Malka, Heschel Meir Ben David Achana, Rosa Aurora Ramirez Vera, and others that we carry with us in our hearts. Our Misha Berach prayer for healing can be found on page 371.
Bless the ones before us, help us find
concluding prayers begin on page 586. Would the congregation please rise?
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Page 592. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved, and if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. As we prepare to recite the words now of the Mourner's Kaddish, I would ask mourners in our congregation to please rise in a particular order to be acknowledged. If you have laid a loved one to rest within the past 7 days, would you please rise? Any who are within the first 30 days of mourning, would you please rise? If you've laid your loved one to rest within the past 12 months, would you now rise? And if this Shabbat marks the yahrzeit, the anniversary of your loved one's death, would you please rise? I'd ask the congregation to rise as one in support of the mourners among us. We remember first those most recently taken from us: Norman Zimble, father of Ellen Rabina; Peter Heller, father of Wendy Pinker; Kenneth Glick, father of Darrell Paris; Dolores Moser, mother of Robert Moser, grandmother of Jamie Moser and Susan Moser, and sister-in-law of Joy Moser; Stanley Franklin, uncle of Arlene Epstein and great-uncle of Stacy Bleckman; John S. Gimish, father of Cynthia Samwick; James Millen, father of Jeff Millen; Susan Adler Kaplan, aunt of John Geverts; Moshe Usher Anshel Reinitz, cousin of Lisa Koenig; Erwin Julius Stein, husband of Brenda Stein and father of Karen Steuerman; Neil Robert Siegel, father of Jonathan Siegel; Evelyn Rosenberg, mother of Steve Rosenberg. And on the yahrzeit, the anniversary of their death, we remember Ann Kramer Barbanel, Carl Barr, Dorothy Bleich, Mildred Brock, Ruth L. Cohen, William Cohen, Gustav Cooperman, George Damashek, Shirley Disick, Gisela Fields, Muriel Feinerman, Regina Fish, Arnold Gould, Philip Haber, Irma Hahn, Herman Cantor, Maso Koike, Irving Jack Krantz, Saul Liebman, Elsie Leibowitz, Barry Peretz, Jack Ring, Jack Rosen, Rose M. Rubens, Marilyn Scheffler, Gary Siegel, Edith Simon, Howard Simon, Rosalind Simon, Cynthia Small, Sylvia Solomon, Franklin Toff, Diana Weiss, Max Zoller, Janet Zemixson, and other names that we carry with us in our hearts. If there are any names to add to our commemoration that have not yet been spoken aloud, or any that I've inadvertently mispronounced, I invite you to say them now. The words of the Mourner's Kaddish is found on page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, b'yama divrach hirute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'b'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'b'yizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitale v'yithalal shmei d'kudsha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran v'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Ose shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru amen.
We may be seated. A few brief announcements before we conclude. Our celebration of Shabbat doesn't end tonight, but of course extends into tomorrow with our Torah study group at 9 a.m. And our Sharing Shabbat community will be meeting not tomorrow morning as they usually do, but tomorrow evening at 5 p.m. for a special Havdalah program here on campus. There's a lot that's coming up in WRT in the next handful of weeks. I'll lift up just a few of them, which is that a week from tonight, on the Friday after Thanksgiving, Friday, November 26th, there'll be a special pre-Shabbat conversation about Israel on campus, a roundtable discussion. Join Rabbi Blake and Justin Ellis, who's the executive director of Fuel for Truth, for a special program that we've planned purposefully for Thanksgiving weekend in hopes that we might be able to see some of our college students who are often on the front lines of talking about Israel, who might be home for the holiday weekend. So please join us a week from tonight before services at 4:45 p.m. for a conversation about Israel on campus. And then the Friday after that, Friday, December 3rd, which is the Friday of Hanukkah. We hope that you'll join us starting at 5:45 p.m. out in the CJL Circle for a special community-wide outdoor menorah lighting and Hanukkah celebration. After a half hour of song and music and special blessing for our youngest learners, we'll move here into the sanctuary at 6:15 for a special Shabbat program and service. Last announcement is that WRT is trying to do our part to help make sure that everyone in our community can have a happy Thanksgiving. And so we've been able to donate food to our neighbors in Mount Vernon and New Rochelle, and a lot of that has come out of our Hungry and Homeless Fund. If you'd like to help keep our Hungry and Homeless Fund fully stocked so that we can make sure that everybody has the food that they need to have a feast on Thanksgiving, please be sure to give to that very special restricted fund on our website. We want to be sure to thank our greeters, Nancy Michaels and David Michaels, and also to wish a mazel tov to the Berkun family and also to the Wax family, who will be celebrating a bat mitzvah tomorrow afternoon. We'll conclude our service with song with the words Oseh Shalom. Would the congregation please rise?
Shalom shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
So I'm planning, we used to be back in the city tonight, 11:30 to 2.
What is it called now?
It's called Cellar God.
They still have the
Yeah.
pool and all?
Yeah. And then after that, end at 2, then here in the morning.
Sorry?
Yeah, tonight, and then here in the morning, tomorrow.
Nice.
Ah,
Nice to see you.
so just grab something at the diner.
That's it.
Yes. What's that?
We have the balloon, we have the
Yeah, yeah.
yes, yes.
It's been great working with them, actually.
But she told me,
Things to say about him, but I'm sure you know that. Such a sweet, inquisitive person.
oh yeah.
Sorry, let me just put it in. Check, check. Check, check.
Check, check, check. I cannot hear. Ah, my bad. This should work now. Hey, hey. Yeah. You gonna test it, or do you want me to shut it off? Can I test it? You know, check in. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Check, check. We are having tomorrow morning 10 a.m. service, and then we have a 5 p.m. service. I think it sounds good.
When did you go?
Last year. Who you want me to kill? Check, check. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Check, check. Sí, sí. 1, 2, 3. Check, check. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Check. It sounds good to me. Everything sounds good to me. Everything sounds good. What's up? Sure, no problem. 1, 2, 3. Testing the sound. 1, 2, 3. Checking. 1, 2, 3. Check, check. Check, check. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Checking. We have people already went home. It's just me and me. Testing, check. 1, 2, 3. Check, check. All ready. Sounds?